Hello and welcome to the history of the X-Files. Today's episode we'll be covering the alien bounty hunter. And here we go. Bounty hunters are shape-shifting aliens who have the ability to disguise themselves as anyone, although they commonly assume a specific appearance that they can maintain at the same time as each other. Regardless of how they are disguised, bounty hunters are immediately recognizable to clones, due to the toxic nature of their blood. Human exposure is fatal. Bounty hunters can only be killed by precisely piercing the base of their skulls. They all seem to use the same form as their default form. Some of the faceless alien rebels use this form as well. They may be of the same extraterrestrial race as the faceless rebel aliens and/or the gray aliens. The bounty hunters are infected with the black oil virus, while each of the rebel aliens seal up their eyes, nose, and mouth to prevent infection with the same virus. The bounty hunters act as police for the alien colonists. Their job is to keep the Earth free from any aliens or clones that don't have permission by the colonists to be there, like the Gregor series and the Samantha series, and any alien clones that may expose the colonization, like the faceless aliens, Jeremiah Smith, or Josh Exley. Bounty hunters lived in harmony with the clones for many years. The peaceful relationship between the two races could have led them to share the planet Earth. Unfortunately for the clones, however, the bounty hunters were employed by the Grey aliens. Acting on orders given to them by the Greys, the bounty hunters were tasked with eliminating all proof of the alien presence already on Earth before colonization of the planet was due to begin, including ridding Earth of the clones. An early mission of one of the bounty hunters was the elimination of Josh Exley, an alien that had become disillusioned with his race and adopted human culture, particularly baseball. In 1947, a bounty hunter tracked down Exley to Roswell, New Mexico and killed him. The rebel threat. The bounty hunters infiltrated Y Camp Air Force Base and took the rebel prisoners under the guise of Quiet Willie in a truck. Unbeknownst to him, Mulder had jumped on the back of the truck and inside the cargo net. The bounty hunters stopped the truck and came to kill the rebel. However, he and Mulder were attacked by the other aliens. Mulder's abduction. The bounty hunters reappeared during the time when Mulder was abducted. A series of incidences resembling alien activity in Arizona led Scully and Skinner to search for Gibson Praise. John Doggett went as well, having been provided information on Praise from an unknown source. Doggett encountered what he thought was Mulder, but was actually a bounty hunter attempting to capture Praise. The bounty hunter had walked backwards over a cliff and disappeared. However, he returned to where the FBI task force was based and caused havoc while seeking Praise. He took the guise of Scully and nearly killed Agent Landau. Ultimately, the bounty hunter took the appearance of Thea and successfully captured Praise. In the hospital where Praise was kept, the bounty hunter knocked out Skinner and later tried to kill Scully. However, Scully shot him through the back of the neck, its only vulnerable spot, and watched as it dissolved into a green puddle. Abilities and characteristics. The bounty hunters have exhibited a number of distinctive traits in their many appearances, many of which make them particularly dangerous. Shape-shifting. This is the most notable ability possessed by the bounty hunters. They are, at will, able to assume the shape of any person they wish. The transformation process takes only a few seconds and does not appear to put them under any visible strain. In addition to altering things such as facial features and hair color, the shifting can also include a significant altercation of mass. The bounty hunter involved in Mulder's abduction and the hunt for Gibson Praise assumed the form of not only Dana Scully but also a young girl. While they can imitate the voice of the person whose appearance they assume, they are not able to imitate the personality traits and remain just as unemotional and cold as they are in their default form. Strength. The bounty hunters seem to have above average strength and are capable of lifting and throwing adult humans with only minimal effort, as well as being able to cause serious injury and damage with only their bare hands. Invulnerability. With the exception of their one weakness, a piercing at the back of the neck, the bounty hunters appear to be, for all practical purposes, invincible. Gunshots seem to have no effect whatsoever. Falls from extreme heights are brushed off within a matter of moments. For example, the bounty hunter who pursued Jeremiah Smith was temporarily infected with smallpox due to the stings from the modified honeybees. But aside from the presence of boils, it did not seem to cause any ill effects on him whatsoever. His other abilities seemed to be fully intact during the infection. Toxic blood. The green blood of the alien bounty hunters is extremely dangerous to humans. Josh Exley claimed that the alien blood is like acid, and it has shown the ability to eat through various solid objects. When the skin is pierced, a hissing sound can be heard, suggesting that it's not only the blood, but some manner of airborne compound that exits the body and is also dangerous. When a bounty hunter is killed in the proper manner, such as a gunshot to the neck or being stabbed in the same area with a gimlet weapon, the blood does not seem to cause any ill effects. Alex Krycek and Jeffrey Spender were shown sitting next to a dissolving body of an alien rebel with no apparent ill effects. When Scully shot the bounty hunter pursuing Gibson Praise, there seemed to be no indication that the same airborne irritant affected her or Gibson. Healing. The alien bounty hunters heals Tina Mulder after her strokes, at the request of the Smoking Man. This suggests that Jeremiah Smith is only one of many members that possess this ability. Background information. The initial draft script for the episode Endgame included 2 scenes featuring the alien bounty hunter that unfortunately had to be removed from the final script because there was insufficient time in which to film them. The first scene takes place very early in the story, after Mulder bursts into Scully's motel room to find that she had been abducted by the bounty hunters. In the deleted scene, he then exits the room and sees the federal marshal, who the bounty hunter had disguised himself as. Mulder is extremely paranoid that the federal marshal is still the alien in disguise and draws his gun on the marshal. After a tense showdown between the 2 characters, it is revealed that the federal marshal is who he appears to be and is not the bounty hunter. The second cutscene takes place at the start of the script's second act, the morning after the hostage trade in which Mulder traded a woman who he believes was his sister for Scully. Driving the way to meet his father at the bridge where the trade took place, Mulder sees his sister, wet and cold on the side of the road. He stops to let her in the car, and as he continues driving, he suddenly realizes that the passenger is not his sister, but the alien bounty hunter. He watches his sister morph into the alien, who he struggles with over the wheel of the car. Eventually, the 2 men jump out of the car moments before it crashes, with the bounty hunter in pursuit. Mulder rushes to the clinic where other clones of his sister are. In a hidden track on the X-Files, the album, writer and series creator Chris Carter talks about the alien colonists, their black oil, and the bounty hunters, as well as the Syndicate, the threat to the Syndicate that Agent Mulder and Scully pose, and the clones developed by the Syndicate. Of the bounty hunters, Carter says that the Syndicate had, in a crisis, used a tool of the colonists themselves, alien bounty hunters who police the cloning operations and enforce the rule on the countdown to colonization, a double-edged sword whose cold-blooded tactics had helped them stem the leak, or threat, but who also kept watch on the Syndicate, a threat itself as the Syndicate had something to hide that not even the colonists knew of, a vaccine against the black oil, he said. By the release of the X-Files the album in June 1998, Chris Carter had developed the concept of the bounty hunters as a race rather than only a singular character. It would not be until the episode Without first broadcast, more than 2 years later on November 12, 2000, that an episode of the X-Files first established this fact. At the end of the episode, 6 identical bounty hunters are seen in the same shot. The episode Without was also the first episode to show any of the bounty hunters in an alien environment, and they wore specifically designed clothing rather than human attire. The bounty hunters were usually played by Brian Thompson, but due to the alien's shape-shifting ability, many other actors are also temporarily starred as a bounty hunter.